Okay. Hi, guys. It's your two favorite people on the Instagram that are back.
What was that on the Insta?
That's what they call it, the Instagram.
Anyway, it's me, Mandy.
We're here to answer questions. Apparently it's a fucking Friday or something, and we're talking like a bunch of
Hooligans.
somethings.
Hooligans.
Anyways, we're gonna pick another couple questions and answer them for you guys, and let's just do it, okay? Let's just do it. You guys ask these questions, and we are gonna answer them.
I guess the other side. Yeah. Double side of paper.
How can I ensure my tattoo lasts a long time? How can you ensure your tattoo lasts a long time? Do the aftercare properly, for one. Aftercare is super important. So 100% listen to that. And try to, I guess the biggest thing is the sun. Keep them moisturized. Keep them out of the sun as much as you can.
Especially like within the first few days of having said tattoo, whether like if it's post second skin or if you just do it the old school wrap way. Also, make sure you keep it clean. I always feel like is a big thing that people like forget about instead of just like running like water over it and stuff. Like you want to get those gunkies off of there because you don't want anything bad to happen to it.
No.
You want to take care of it.
Yeah, I think, basically the only things
Yeah.
you can really do is keep it moisturized and keep it out as much, like 1 month I say out of the sun for the first little bit, but then after that, like long term, I always just say try to keep it out of the sun as much as you can if you want it to last a long time. I can't really think of anything else.
I'm the type of person where I like quite literally only put SPF 60 on all of my tattoos, and then unfortunately sometimes I forget about the other parts of my body. So then I went through 1 year of just having splotches of very, very pale skin all around all my tattoos, but they were protected. Did I look stupid? A little bit. But were my tattoos awesome? Yes.
See, but then there's me.
I've gone a summer with a blackout arm,
It
and
apparently gets pretty hot in the sun.
and you sunscreen that hole up, and see, it still looks awesome and dark and awesome.
And there's me, and I don't believe in sunscreen, so.
Practice what you preach.
But I've had my whole arm colored in again because of that, so.
So unless you have the money to get your whole sleeve redone after
10 years?
10 years, then wear sunscreen.
Okay, next question, guys. Gosh. This is, okay. There's no silly question, I guess. How do I handle tattoo regret? Don't get it in the first place.
Or if you get it on a whim, because I will say I do a lot of questioning before like I tattoo people, which I feel like helps lessen the possibility of regret, and I know she does the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like I always ask somebody when they come in if they want something like small or whatever, or their placement or anything like that. I always do ask them the question, well, is there anything you're going to want in the future, in a way? Like, overall, in like 5 years, if you could have your dream tattoo bod, what would it be? And if they're saying like full sleeves or patchwork or anything like that, then you can kind of come together and cater to that, and then make a decision, not like together, like, 'cause ultimately it is your choice, but, you know, putting things in places that could work with your future tattoos could also help lessening the regret or anything like that.
I always say to kind of sit on a tattoo idea for,
Yeah.
I typically say 1 year when it's a really large piece, but there's definitely a lot of tattoos I've got where I thought about it for like 3 hours and then got it, and I still love it. So
I've had plenty of tattoos where I just walk in and I say, yes, that one, please. And that's it.
But I think handling tattoo regret is kind of a more like like before you regret the tattoo. Like there's stuff you can do before you actually get that tattoo to not regret it.
Yeah.
You know, making sure you have the right artist and making sure that, you know, you really like your idea and you think that that artist can, you know, deliver that. And obviously when you show up for your appointment, if you feel anything is not right about the drawing, you kind of voice that and work through that with the artist. Same with placement, make sure it's where you want it. It's permanent.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like we don't get upset when you want to do those things because it's permanent. And we don't want you to regret your tattoos. We want you to be happy.
Like I've said before, the only it's on you forever, but the fact that I did it is on me forever. So I do want to make sure that I give you something that you thoroughly enjoy and that you will like, probably forever. So that's what I have to say about that.
Yes. Do you want to do one? You want to pull it?
Should I do the big one?
Sure. I don't even know what's on it. What's on it? What is that?
I think this is a very
Oh, shit. Who wrote this question? Trying to stump us.
Are there any cultural considerations when getting a tattoo? I would say there's a bunch of different styles that are like across the board that, you know, like people, like for example, when people do like traditional like Japanese style, you know, subject matters like that, I don't think it's not limited to, it's not a limited,
Like there's artistic interpretation.
yeah, there's artistic interpretation of it.
But
I would say when it comes to like any sort of symbolism or things that are like representative of you in your own culture, that's where it can kind of get tricky. And I would highly suggest, like for example, if you are like indigenous and you want to get a piece of indigenous art tattooed on you, I would suggest going to an indigenous artist, because not only do they connect with that piece, it has significance to them. Personally, I wouldn't want to do it because it's not for me. It's not my.
we don't really know.
I don't know the significance behind it. I'm not educated in it in, you know, any sort of way. And then, you know, you want to go to somebody that
spends their entire career learning and solidifying
and like
that.
appreciating that
Yeah.
style of art. And
But like, so what I think like what culture significance? Because
was
it's
it
something.
even talking about that?
Yeah, well, it's something you gotta. It's hard. It's a very hard thing.
I feel like there's a lot.
Like
of
there's been,
ways.
there's so many different ways to interpret this, because obviously, like I've had people come to me and they're like, I want a dream catcher with a kanji in it and like a bunch of different stuff, and I'm just, you know, 10 years ago I'd have been like, okay, whatever, because he didn't really have any information about it. But you know, I think now a lot of people would flag that as like cultural appropriation, unless they were, you know, both native and, you know.
I would say just do your research.
Yeah, it's
Just do your research, and then if it is something from yourself or your own culture or something that's significant to you or your family, or like, you know, like family crests, things like that, just be informed on it. And then also too, it's always good to research your artists, because, you know, there's plenty of different artists where that's also their culture, that's also their heritage, that, you know, they would love to work on a piece like that with you, other than somebody who might not be as in the loop with you.
and they're
you
just
know what I
doing
mean?
the tattoo that you're asking them
Yeah.
to do, but they can't really add
They can't really
to it because they haven't.
They don't know about it,
Yeah.
and they don't, you know, it's not their.
It's the same with like what you said about the Japanese. You know, there's people that study all that, you know, specific Japanese traditional art for years, like years. I think their apprenticeships are like almost 10 years long.
Yeah.
Like it is wild. So like you see them and they've studied so long and they've done they do amazing work, and it's, you know, very
Or even like
beautiful. But then you can come, you know, do it to somebody that's not a traditional Japanese artist, and you're gonna kind of get face value of like what they know. But like there could be contradicting things about it in the piece, but they wouldn't know about it.
Yeah. And I would also say as well too, like a good example is like the artists that do like the traditional, like, I don't remember what the name is for it, like the hand poke with the big.
In like Hawaii.
Yes, there's that one guy. There's that one guy that does them, and it's like they have like a separate person
Oh,
like stretching the skin
the
that
guy-
does with the longer rod, and then they hit it
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You would go to a guy that just does that. You wouldn't ask me if I could do that because I wouldn't even, you know what I mean?
Not even the same realm.
It's not even the same
So
realm of
specialized.
thing. It's so specialized.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard question. I think, you
There's
know,
a lot of answers. to
there's a lot of different answers and a lot of ways to interpret this question. Yeah, I think if you're going to be getting like a tattoo, like specifically, you know, for your culture, or, you know, stuff like that, I would really just research someone that specializes in it and loves it and pours their heart into it, because that's what you want in that type of piece, right?
You want it to be full of love and respect and awesomeness. So who's better to share with
History
that
and
than someone who's a pro at it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, on that note, because you guys had asked me and Mandy just such hard questions today. Been over here working so hard.
Working my brain on this morning.
It's good for us. It's, you know, firing some brain cells nice and early.
Jeez Louise.
Who needs coffee when you got questions?
Nope, not me.
Anyways, have a lovely fucking day. And we will see you
Next time.